One of the game's out. Finally. After what?
Was there a movie? Or was there just an episode?
Jesus Christ. And now I am the star.
Welcome along to episode 12 of Hashtag TV. I'm V8 Matty.
And I'm Phid McAwesome.
And as we do every week, we're going to start with our YouTube shout out with Charis. Charis!
Article 7, Section 3 allows for a citizen filibuster. If I stand here and refuse to yield my time, you are prohibited from voting on the bill. Let the filibustering begin.
Namaste, motherfuckers!
Canadians.
I'd choose you! I'm Jess, and I also news you.
Welcome to Math Bites. They say if aliens ever tried to contact us, they use math, because math is the universal language. Or is it?
I literally have no fluid in my mouth. I gotta do a Marco Rubio. Can we please cut?
Thanks, Chris. And up next we have Gamertag, brought to you by bosslevel.co.nz.
And you can get along to bosslevel.co.nz. Use the promo code hashtag for a 10% discount on your purchase.
Awesome. On this week's episode of Gamertag, we're talking to Mike Jones, who you may remember from a previous episode. He's from Capcom, and we actually discussed the Resident Evil franchise with him and why they made a change to the direction they were taking.
It was good to talk to Mike Jones.
Resident Evil, I mean, where do you even start with that? So, I mean, really, you kind of see the first sort of baby steps, I think, towards what you're seeing with modern Resident Evil, with like Resident Evil 4, which was actually our most popular, successful Resident Evil. Yeah. And so, I mean, I didn't work at Capcom when Resident Evil was conceived. I didn't work with the visionary guys like Mikami and everybody who set up those franchises. But you know, 1 was obviously a cultural phenomenon. 2 was like bigger and better. It was awesome. 3 had some really cool stuff, and the Nemesis chasing you and these cool mechanics. But I think they sort of hit the ceiling of like what you could do with that experience. I mean, yeah, they did the remakes on GameCube and stuff like that, but just mechanically, in terms of games, I think in modern tastes, it was starting to get old, right? It was like, you know, people expect a different type of game, something that's a little bit more smooth, that's a little bit more mechanically sort of pleasing, I guess you might say. I mean, you can go back and play.
Do you think it was more targeted at the newer generation of gamer?
Yeah, well, so I was going to say, so then what you saw with 4 is they just completely reinvented how Resident Evil worked, right? And it was just like, holy crap, this is amazing. You know, with Resident Evil 4, you saw this big leap in like what that experience was supposed to be, right? And so what I think you're seeing now is just kind of the natural evolution of that sort of inertia, that sort of direction change from, you know, when a lot of those visionaries were still at Capcom. And so I think, you know, the dev team at Osaka has tried to sort of, you know, respect that direction and take it to where it is that you see today. But obviously we listen to feedback, we listen to the press, we listen to the gamers. And you know, I'm not currently on the Resident Evil team, so I can't speak for them. But they've got some pretty cool stuff in the works, and I'm sure they're aiming to please with the next ones.
So that was Mike Jones from Capcom, and I tend to disagree with the reason they've taken that direction, but that's the official line, I suppose.
I was never a huge fan of Resident Evil anyway, so
I've always been a massive fan of Resident Evil. Loved it.
it's their own.
Yeah. What do we got next?
Next up, we're going to take a look at the Triton Kunai headset and see how that goes. So here we have the Triton Kunai headset. Looks very nice. I quite like the white plastic look. Racing stripes are good, means they go faster. There's plenty of adjustment, even for a big head like mine. They do, after a little while, feel a bit tight though. For an on-ear headphone, they tend to get a bit hot on my ears, unfortunately. But for short periods, not a problem. So the Kunai headset comes with a 4.2 meter long cord. Not a big fan of corded headsets myself, but having said that, you're not going to get any interference issues with your Wi-Fi and so on, buzzing and crackling away in your headset while you're playing. 40mm drivers, plenty of good sound coming through there. Not so flash when it comes to listening to the music side of things, but for gaming and listening to your mates chatter, they are perfect. Far superior to anything out of the box with a console. Even with the Xbox One headset that came with the Xbox One, it was rubbish. So for $100, you can be looking good and sounding good. So that was the Triton Kunai headset. Not a bad entry-level sort of bit of gear.
Yeah. Quite a nice unit.
Very versatile.
Yeah.
Works on pretty much everything.
And there's a full review on #me.co.nz if you want to check out any more details on that.
Yes, indeedy.
While you're there, you can also check out our links to Twitter and Facebook and our YouTube and Citizen TV channels as well. Make sure you get in there, like, subscribe and follow us. That's us for another week.
That is us. See you. Can you stop swaying your junk right behind where I'm looking?